Well, good afternoon. For those who don't know me, I'm Eve Care. Now, I'm a fan of education. I love learning, I love reading, and of course, I keep learning. Now, a few days ago, a friend of mine asked me what I thought about harmonious living and mutual understanding for high academic performance. Well, she asked this in context of a presentation for a school. And I thought, what a topic. Because, truth be told, we look at education as if it's something we were imposed on by our colonials, but it is very important. In fact, this made me think back to the history of education in Kenya and how Moi really pushed for education to be in Kenya. And thanks to education, we have all we have now. We have all the architects we can count, all the doctors, lecturers, and well, he forwarded the topic of education in terms of employment and, of course, development, which, of course, is expected of a leader. But I want to look at education from that point of view of harmonious living, in the sense of that we wouldn't be living as we are right now if we weren't educated, because education makes us learned and it makes us civilized. So we're able to relate with each other in a better way, to put it that way. And when my friend asked me about this topic, I looked back to how our education system has come about, the changes it has undergone, the different steps we have been able to take in order to be where we are today, the number of universities that have grown, the number of schools that are there right now, and of course, being the major employer, one of the major employers in Kenya, it has also been of benefit in that line, in the sense that people do not just learn and end up with nothing else to do. They get employed. Now, I know employment is a big issue at the moment, but, well, truth be told, if we were not educated, we would not even discover that unemployment is a problem. So, education plays a very big role there. And then this made me think that, of course, all the developments we have had is because there was peace and there was harmony. So, it is definitely very difficult to think of harmony and not think of peace. So harmonious living and peaceful living are one and the same thing. Now, in order to be able to go to class, wake up in the morning, of course, if there were gunshots everywhere, nobody would want to wake up or leave the house for that matter. If there was no peace, nobody would want to go to school because they know they'll be either mugged on the road or killed for that matter. So harmony is very key to education. If we are not at peace, then no education will be able to take place. So it made me think in those lines, and I was like, we need to appreciate more that we're in harmony. And I'm thinking of my friend because I'm sure she thought of this topic, or the schools need to think of this topic, especially schools in regions where there's a lack of harmony, there's war or there's terrorist attack, like areas like Malindi, Lamu, and you also have Mandera and Wajir and all those northern countries where Al-Shabaab keep attacking every now and again. And of course, we're not immune to attacks. Recently it was the Westgate attack, and of course they can happen anywhere. So we all know very well that when these attacks happen, when there's political unrest or there's tribal war, or there is a lack of understanding even within the family, talk about domestic violence, then academics are put aside. Education comes to a standstill, and if the war continues, then we are not even able to talk about high academic performance because there is no education to begin with. So in order to be able to be educated, we need to be peaceable enough to be able to achieve and acquire, to be able to receive the education that we need. And now to be able to perform highly, we need even more peace of mind, peace of thought to be able to collect ourselves, peace of mind to be able to read and understand, and therefore be able to enhance our academic performance. So definitely, if you have a child whose home is not peaceful, in the sense of maybe the parents are fighting, or he's living in a foster home and there's constant wars here and there, or somebody is being bullied in their home, then definitely the performance of that person will be affected. Will be affected whether we like it or not. So definitely peace and harmony is very key to education. But besides that, there is the mutual understanding, because with peace there has to be mutual understanding, in the sense of, we don't fight each other because we understand we're neighbors. I mean, I can't walk into my neighbor's house and collect something because we have a mutual understanding that this is mine and that is theirs. So definitely I will pick when I'm given the permission to, or if I think I need something from my neighbor, I will therefore have to ask. And therefore, when somebody picks something that is not theirs without asking, then it is theft, or we also call it an act of war. And that is where wars are started, for starters. So harmonious living and a mutual understanding is very key, because, like, for example, we can be seated in a class. I have my pen, the person sitting beside me does not have a pen, the teacher is dictating, I mean, like at 100 words per minute, and the person besides me is not able to write. So therefore that will affect my peace of mind, because they will want to borrow my pen or borrow my notes later. And then if we do not have a mutual understanding that this is my pen and you're borrowing it, therefore you will need to return it, there might be war. There will be a lack of peace. And then there also need to be that mutual understanding and peace between the teachers and the students, in the sense of the students need to understand that they are the teachers, and the teachers need to understand that these are the students. So therefore the relationship follows, because once you have an understanding of what roles you're playing, then it's very easy for each to carry on with their duties. So therefore you cannot have a lack of understanding and a lack of peace and then expect academic performance. It's definitely an unexpectable outcome, because it cannot come out of it. Yeah, it's like saying 2 + 2 is 10. Well, you will not get 10, definitely, because 2 + 2 is 4. So when I thought of my friend and this topic, I thought, really, we need to appreciate the fact that we have peace. And I mean, currently we're having issues of swearing in and not being swearing in. Well, I don't want to meddle into that, but you realize the position in which they can put us into if suddenly there's tribal war, or anything can happen. Of course, we really look up to our leaders, and we hope that for the sake of the country, for the sake of the nation, I mean, Raila and his compatriots will just see sense and put this thing aside and focus on the 2022 war, start building something for themselves. Well, I didn't mean to. Well, that's my truthful opinion, because I was a fan of Raila, but at the moment I can't see where he's putting the people first. I think he's putting himself too fast, and that might lead us into that disharmony, and we might not be able to move forward as a nation. So for the sake of the country, I would urge him to step down on being sworn in and really take the highway, take the high road. The high road is difficult, I know. It is not easy to accept you've been cheated and keep smiling and moving on. But if that is what he really thinks he is, then he needs to act like a better man. He needs to be a bigger man than he is. He needs to really take the high road. Take the high road. It's not going to be easy, but if they really value Kenyans and if they really value Kenya, they need to take that. Now I'm derailing from my topic. My topic was harmonious living and mutual understanding for high academic performance. So you realize that without peace, without harmony, then in schools, we had the recent incidents in Jamhuri High School in Nairobi, and of course you realize that they cannot study anymore. So definitely academic or high academic performance is a non-topic for now, and it's difficult. And of course it's very easy to say that you can study in any environment, but it is very difficult for a student to concentrate, let alone if you're not able to concentrate when there is peace and just a little noise making in class. Will you be able to concentrate when there is actual war? So high performance is really very, very much related to a mutual understanding and harmony within the students. And of course you realize that during classwork there's also study groups, friends helping friends, that idea that, okay, it's true, parents and teachers keep pushing the students to study, but if there's no that mutual understanding between the class, that the competition is healthy and we're able to push each other, help each other during study groups, then you realize that without that mutual understanding within even a class, then it makes it very difficult for the teacher to teach. Because, I mean, students could be passing notes or jokes about the teacher from under the desks. Who knows? I mean, it has happened in some schools. Those of us who've been in school know that for sure. And we could make it very difficult for the teachers to teach. And, well, I mean, there's very good sense in the rule of not beating children, because it had really gone to a very high risk area and teachers were really taking advantage of it. But, well, it had its purpose when it was there. And it not being there now could also make the children just, be unruly, completely live without a law, like just go berserk. It could happen, and that would hinder high academic performance, definitely. So I really believe that a harmonious living, both from the family to the society to the nation and to the world at large, is very key to high academic performance at whatever level. So that's my thought. I hope this has touched someone, helped someone, and also allowed you to appreciate the fact that, there's peace, we can breathe fresh air and, smile, tell a joke, laugh about our situation, and, live on, because there's harmony and there's peace. So go out there and spread the peace. Bye. That's all I had to say.